Hi guys, my name's John and I am the Miniature Hobbyist. So welcome to the channel and obviously this video. So you've seen recently, the past few weeks, maybe a month or so, I've been going through my pile of, let's call it fun, because that's certainly what it gives me, plenty of fun. Yeah, because a lot of the stuff up here is Warhammer 40k. It's been here for about 3 years. Some of it may have been even longer. But obviously I'm doing a big effort to go through as much as I can of this stuff. And the main reason for that is, obviously we've got Warhammer 11th edition just round the corner, which means there's going to be loads more new stuff to get. And yeah, I'd like to get sort of much of this done as I can. You will see as well though, a lot of this stuff I am painting is going on eBay, because that way then obviously I can then buy more grey plastic to put on this shelf to sit here for the next 2-3 years. Well, one thing you do find sometimes is when you go through a lot of your stuff, you have a little bit of a hobby burnout or a painting burnout. And I found the best way to fix when you do get a bit of a burnout from painting so much of the plastic, and that is
Treat yourself to, yes, more plastic because, well, you deserve it. And this is obviously your hobby, your fun, and basically your escape from being an adult. That's kind of how I see things anyway. So I didn't exactly treat myself. I was treated to these by Dragon Hoard Collectibles. There's a link down below to where you can find out more information about them. I will talk more about them later on in the video. So yeah, as you can see, loads of lovely orkish stuff because I do love me some green stuff, nice, big and chunky. So yeah, quite a nice variety of stuff here. And what to paint first, because obviously I'm going to paint one of these before painting my pile of fun. And I'm going with this. Well, obviously you know what I'm painting because you've seen the thumbnail. And as much as I do love the pose of this, I've seen some people's paintings of this, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do some nice, decent flames coming out the back, or even the smoke. So yeah, I'm going to change mine a little bit, but we'll get to that in just a second. So yeah, if you are new to sort of Warhammer in general, or miniature building and all that kind of stuff, obviously most of these PCs do come on a sprue. Obviously this is the sprue with all the lovely bits on it, but you need to get the bits off of it to then do a bit of assembly. So this isn't too bad. Obviously it's got quite a few pieces, but they're all like quite large, easy to sort of work out where they go. Although that being said, I do still follow the instructions just because sometimes some bits need to be put together, well, before other bits. He says, as I haven't even opened up the instructions, I'm just going straight in, cutting bits out. Although I do know I'm probably not going to be using this bit. As I say, in my head, I did have a little bit of a plan of what I wanted to do. I know I'm a bit late for the Star Wars May the 4th day, but yeah, it's something I've always wanted to do. It is a bit of a pod racer. And that's kind of what I sort of envisioned this as being. So yeah, Star Wars obviously loved that because I am old and saw the original way back when. So yes, I'm doing a bit of a combination of, well, good old Warhammer stuff, Star Wars stuff, and me just being a general big kid stuff. So yeah, cutting these things out with clippers. So yeah, guys, I am going to be doing a bit of a series of videos showing obviously how I sort of assemble these, paint these, base these, and all the rest. So yeah, there's going to be quite a few of these in a sort of a series. So if you are new here and you do like what I do and you want to sort of learn more about what I do, and say obviously I'm not the best painter, I'll get out straight away. I am a mediocre painter. I enjoy painting, and it's definitely a tabletop standard, which, well, I like. So obviously we've cut the bits and pieces off. The first thing I like to do is go around, basically clean them up a little bit. And by this, I mean where you cut them from the sprue, sometimes you might not get in close enough. There'll be little bits left over. And you want to get rid of these because obviously sometimes they can stop bits from actually going together. So you don't want that. You don't want any gaps or anything. And sometimes you might get mold lines where these are molded or injection molded. Yeah, sometimes there's like faint lines, so they can be scratched away as well. So the glue I like to use is cement glue. And one of the good reasons for this is, there's two reasons really. One, you get it on your fingers. It's not going to make your fingers stick to yourself. It'll just feel a little bit sticky. And two, as you can see here, I've sort of dry fitted the two bits together. And then because this cement glue is so fine, when you put it over the top, it basically seeps in. And obviously the bond on this is really good because it kind of like almost burns one part into the other or dissolves one part into the other. I'm never too sure what the technical term is. Basically, yeah, once it cures, it is super strong. So yeah, these little bits, you'll find these all over the place. I must admit, because I try and get rid of as many as I can when I've sort of cut bits out. But then when everything is assembled, you do need to sort of go over it and just make sure there's no little extra little bits. Because as much as you might not be able to see them now, when you come to paint this, they'll stand out like a sore thumb. So yeah, it's worth spending time just cleaning the pieces up, getting rid of the any little bits on there that shouldn't be there when you've cut them off from the sprue. Let's say any little mold lines, yeah, definitely have a go at doing those as well. So as you can see, yeah, I do have the instruction book out now because in general, these kind of things, you could just probably eyeball it and build it together. Apologies, it's not always in the center of the screen, and that's because even after 5.5 years of having this channel, I do sometimes forget I am videoing myself because I literally am having tons of fun. But this is obviously a hobby for me. Before anything else, it's a hobby, and I do really enjoy what I do. So obviously, this is where I've got a stage where it's like, yeah, I don't need some of the bits that are on here because obviously, again, in my head, I did have a plan. Say I have a plan. I have an idea. I wing it, and then we just sort of see what happens. So I knew the plan was he's not going to have a front wheel on this. He's not going to be doing the pose he is on the box. So yeah, so a few bits I'm going to cut off. And one good thing about this plastic, it is nice and soft. Well, I say soft. It's soft, but in comparison to other sort of hard plastics, you can cut this with just a small pair of snips. And I will be talking more about the tools that I use, where you can get them from, as well as obviously just the basic sort of tools you have. Although saying that, yeah, I pretty much only have the basic tools. As you may have seen that first little clip of the video right at the very beginning, that literally is me in the corner of my living room. So yeah, I don't have a studio, I don't even have a garage, shed or a spare room. I am literally working in the corner of my living room. So yeah, when it comes to gear, I don't have that much. I have the basics, which is all you kind of need. So you're going to cut off this bottom bit as well. And again, say good old snips. It's just a case of cutting around a little bit, trying to get as near as I can. Because obviously you can cut bits off. Well, saying you could glue bits back on. So if you do make a mistake, yeah, don't worry too much. Although this is another reason why I do love Orks. You can't go wrong with Orks. Because if you did make a bit of a mess up with the bike, yeah, it doesn't matter. The Ork would still believe it works. And, well, it would work. So for the jet engines, again, this is another box. I mean, a lot of the boxes I got them for a specific reason. It's been 3 years. I've slept since. I've got no idea why I originally got these because I've never played Necromunda. I'm not too fussed on the actual people. So I reckon I did get the box purely for the engines. Although engines, these are actually like full-on bikes. But those people are so small. Yeah, these look like just simple engines. So I'm having these upside down because then you can't really sort of see the fact that there is actually a seat on there. But yeah, obviously I want them kind of like free floating. I don't want to have little plastic rods or anything to sort of keep them up. So I'm using this, again, I'm not sure what this is. I don't think it's stainless steel because it's strong, but I can bend it. You do need some big snips to be able to cut this though, I must admit. And then as you kind of see, what I've done is I've got 2 bits of the rod, put them together, stuck them in a cordless drill, hold the other end with a pair of pliers, and then just obviously twisted them round. So they are definitely nice and strong. And as you can see, everything's super glued in. I did use a bit of green stuff in there as well, just sort of kick it out. But yeah, everything's nice and secure. So when it comes to painting the vehicles, I do like to put sort of the old rods in them and then have them on my painting handle. So that way I can paint the things well without touching them. My little kitty cat, her name is Cheese, just because, well, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so she does like getting up on my desk and well, seeing what I'm doing. So painting wise, yeah, I will be going through this obviously in more detail in different videos. But the stages I like to do is basically I prime everything in black, dry brush with white, and then use a variety of sort of contrast paints. So you may have heard of the good old term Slapchop. Yeah, that's been going around for the last sort of 2-3 years, which basically got me into enjoying painting the miniatures. But it also goes by undercoating, grizel, and a whole ton of other names because it's been around, well, hundreds of years. And then we get to this stage. So just before I do paint it, I just want to say a big shout out and thank you again to Dragon Hoard Collectibles for sending me these items, just because obviously I can then paint them up. But I've also got a page over there now to deal with, well, painting the miniatures. So again, guys, click on the link down below. You'll be able to see all the details on the items they've sent me, the paints that I'm going to be using, as well as the tools. So it's going to be almost a page dedicated to sort of me, this hobby, and the basics you need to sort of get in, have fun, and to be able to enjoy this wonderful hobby, especially as Warhammer 11th edition, say, is literally just around the corner. There's going to be tons more miniatures coming out soon. And guys, if you want to get hold of the Armageddon set, which is going to be launched in, well, hopefully a few weeks' time, so definitely click on the Dragon Hoard link down below and join their priority access list, because then you get a 1 hour exclusive ordering window before the stock is made publicly available, which is just awesome, because I know I will be getting that set as soon as it comes out. And yeah, I can't wait to crack on and paint some more greenskins. And if you did want to paint along with me at home, then yeah, Dragon Hoard do have a paint bundle with the, well, basically the paints that I use pretty much to do all my orcs with, which is just pretty cool. I'm starting with this charming, I always say this wrong, chartreuse. Yeah, I can never say that word. It's definitely one of my favourite greens. I think I've got 3 top greens I like to use when painting orcs. And this one, yeah, probably is my absolute favourite. And this is where, say, these paints, they really do all the work for you. As you can see, yeah, it goes into all the nooks and crannies, or pools, I should say, in the nooks and crannies, which makes them areas darker. And then any raised flat areas are a bit lighter. So you get that nice contrast in the colours without actually having to sort of try or to go and do any sort of like highlights or edging or, well, any of that sort of stuff. So obviously this is going to be a speed bike, so it needs to be painted red because, well, as we all know, red makes things go faster. Well, it certainly does when you've got a couple of extra engines attached to the front of you, that's for sure. So yeah, some of the other parts, guys, I do speed up as much as I am a relatively fast painter. Yeah, sometimes I'm not this fast. Well, I wish I was actually, because that'd make things incredibly fast. So yeah, most of the paints I use are, well, they're kind of a variety, I guess, of the Army Painter Speed Paints and the Green Stuff World Dipping Inks. They're the kind of ones that I go to. I would like to try, because there's loads of other more contrasty paints out there. I would like to give some of them a go as well. So yeah, if anyone's watching and wants me to try any other sort of contrast paints, let me know what they are, and well, I'll look into it and yeah, give them a go as well. So when it comes to orcs, I do have like a preferred sort of look and feel that I go for, and typically it is, that green that you've just seen, I will use that pretty much on most of the orcs. But I do like them wearing jeans. For some reason, that's kind of, well, my orcs are. Yeah, I'd like to see them wearing jeans. So one of my other favourite colours I like to use is obviously a blue. Obviously, we'll get to that in a second. Yeah, this is just me showing you that I have gone round, painted lots of bits in that kind of goldish, chromish colour. So yeah, this is a, well, I say it's a blue. It's kind of like a bluey green, I guess. But I like the look of it because I think it just looks really good. As I say, just for a pair of sort of denim jeans. That's the kind of look that I think I'm going for. Again, guys, this is where obviously we are all different, and there are obviously different kind of, I don't know, is it factions in orcs? There's definitely different tribes or whatever they're called. Again, guys, this is where I don't really know much about the whole Warhammer 40k lore. All I know is I love their miniatures. I think they're absolutely awesome. There's always tons of detail, so they look great. And obviously for me, orcs, because they're big, they're chunky, very muscly, and they don't take life seriously, which is just awesome. So as you can see, yeah, I do try to show every colour that I use, whether I'm painting it, as you can see it, or I've just painted it. I know there are a couple of videos out there, guys, where I've literally not shown anything because I got so stuck into painting. I, again, say, 5.5 years I've had this channel. I still do forget sometimes that I am filming because I literally am painting every day. I'm painting, building, or making something. Because, say, this for me is a hobby. It's a great escape from, well, real world issues. And I like to say, it takes me to my wibbly wobbly place where it's just me being a big kid, having fun, and yeah, enjoying myself really. So there we go. He's looking pretty cool there. The last thing I kind of typically normally do is go over any of the metallic areas I've done with a wash, because as much or as good as the speed paints are, the metallic ones, the coverage is really nice. They go on really well. They don't sort of pool as much as all the others. Well, I say this all the time because you, but I should really add some medium to them, because you can get speed paint medium, which basically dilutes the paint down even more. Yeah, I've never tried that. I don't know why I've not tried that. Anyway, guys, sorry, you can tell I don't script videos. I just sort of waffle over the top. And sometimes, like then, I've had a little brainwave. Don't know if we've got a brainwave. But yeah, I should really put some speed paint medium in the metallic range just to see if that will make it sort of pool nicely in the well, the nooks and crannies. That being said, I do like going over things with a wash though. This sort of ties everything in, gives that everything a little bit of a dirtier, sort of weathered, beaten, worn, looked sort of thingy, because that's kind of how I like my miniatures. So with the paints, the faces, yeah, I try to do a little bit of, not exactly feathering, but I do try and put a little bit of sort of pink skin or pink colour around their lips and in their mouth, just to give a bit of a different sort of tone to their, well, to their face really. And then obviously one of the last sort of things I do, go around, clean up, well, I say clean up. I paint their teeth, although this is a bit of an off-white, because obviously I'm sure orcs don't clean their teeth, so you get a little bit of an off-white for their teeth and for their nails. But obviously, as you can see, his right arm there, yeah, he doesn't have any nails there because it's a big old chopper claw. And then very last thing, you'll hear me say this time, I always say it's the last thing I do. There's always something else afterwards. And that's some transfers. Transfers are awesome. They're easy to put on, unless you've got a camera right in your face and you can't quite see what you're doing. And yes, that is my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, transfers, you just put them in water for a couple of minutes, and then they just sort of slide off with ease. Or they do, as I say, when you're not trying to film yourself. So I put a few of these here and there because these do obviously add a little bit more to it. And then once they're dried, then I put a little bit of the wash over the top, just sort of dirty them down. And that's him done. Really pleased with how he's come out. Now it's time to obviously do the base. So to get him off, it was a case of cutting the wire. If I just had one wire going up in him, then I would try and like spin it round and pull him off of it. But because there's two glued in, yeah, we'll just do that. So the base, I thought I had filmed myself making the base, but clearly if I did, I've lost the footage, or I didn't, and I just thought I had. But don't worry, guys. So there's going to be like a series of these videos. Say it is like the road to Armageddon, which is just around the corner. So I will be doing, well, going through and showing more detail of certain bits in different videos. So again, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that cool stuff to be informed of new videos coming out. Click on the bell and all that kind of thing, because you will see some other videos showing me make the bases. So yeah, I'll put plenty of glue on to make sure he doesn't come off. But obviously you can see a lot of that glue, but not for much longer, because I've just started using pigments. I basically started using these about 2 weeks ago. Actually love pigments on bases. So again, guys, I've been doing this 5.5 years. I'm still trying, learning different techniques. So if there's anything you want to see me have a go at doing that you'd like to sort of, well, see how a noob gets on, then let me know in the comments, because I'll certainly have a go at trying everything. Because obviously that's the only way you sort of relearning this hobby, is to give it a go. Obviously it's great watching other people do stuff, but until you really try, yeah, you don't know how it's going to work out. And what I like to say, obviously the good old happy accidents. Yeah, good old Bob Ross. So give things a try, see how they turn out. So pigments for bases, yep, love doing this. Again, I am new to this. So if you have any better comments on what I should be doing or what I'm doing wrong, by all means, let me know. So I have mixed some of the pigment here, as you can see, with water, just because I want to sort of paint this onto the tyres. Just again, this obviously helps make it look more like these tyres have gone through a dusty, dirty sort of ground, because obviously the tyres are then full of the stuff, which is pretty cool. And again, sometimes, guys, when we're doing things, sometimes things can look messy and wrong. Hello, cheese. But just keep going. Sometimes you need to trust the process that it is going to work. Yeah, because I know sometimes I have tried things. Cheese, get out of there. And you're doing it, and it's like, this looks like a dog's dinner or a right old 2 and 8. But yeah, keep doing it. Get to the very end and then make a decision. So I was doing this, and I say it did look a little bit messy and a bit off. But once it all dries, yeah, it looks absolutely perfect, and I'm really pleased, well, with how this dude has come out. Say it would have been better if this had been made around May the 4th, but never mind. Better late than never. So love how this guy looks. So guys, don't forget, obviously he will be on eBay. If you want to buy this dude, there are other items on eBay as well. So yeah, if you want to buy something, awesome. It does mean I can get some more grey plastic for my shelf. So yeah, can't wait for that. As I say, Armageddon just round the corner. Actually, can't wait for that to come out because obviously there are a whole load of new Orks, which is just going to be awesome. And guys, don't forget to check out Dragon Hoard Collectibles, link down below, as they will be featuring links to these videos. And I say that you'll be able to see everything I use in the videos over there. And I'll be doing more videos like on the tools that I use. So I'll be showing the bases being made because I will remember to film them bits. But yeah, lots of Orks and bits and pieces coming very soon. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Really appreciate that. Don't forget to say like, share, subscribe, leave comments, all that wonderful stuff, as it will help push me out to more people. Okay, guys, you'll take care. See you in the next one. Bye for now.